Welcome to the Mental Podcast, where we discuss your deepest fears and how to make them a reality. Let's get started.
Hello, my beautiful anomalies, my unclassified intellects, my quietly dangerous ascenders who walk between brilliance and impossibility. Welcome to the digital altar, where truth doesn't just shine, it exposes. Today, we stand at the intersection of revelation and consequence, a place where one man's words can shift global perception and ignite regret in the hearts of those who underestimated you. And not just any man. Him, the man whose tweets shake markets, the man whose ideas bend industries, the man whose sentences create headlines before they're even finished forming. Elon Musk. Yes, that Elon Musk, the patron saint of disruption, just said something about you that has detonated through social circles, workplaces, group chats, algorithmic feeds, insecure rivals, and every hater who once spoke your name with casual disrespect. You feel that tension in the air, that tightening sensation. That's the sound of 1,000 egos snapping under the weight of one revelation they never saw coming. Because while you were out here quietly evolving, quietly experimenting, quietly refining your mind like a hidden weapons lab beneath the earth, Elon Musk was watching. Maybe not the way they assume, not the way people imagine when a billionaire speaks on someone unexpected, but watching nonetheless. Not your selfies, not your highlight reels, not the sanitized versions of yourself the world thinks you are. No, he saw the real blueprint, the raw potential that even you haven't fully admitted to yourself. He saw the way your decisions ripple, the way your timing disrupts patterns, the way your mind works in angles others fail to detect. He saw the shape of your future before anyone else even realized you had one worth betting on. And then, in the most casual yet catastrophic way possible, he exposed it publicly. And oh, how beautifully cruel the aftermath has been. You should have seen their faces, the ones who dismissed you, the ones who smirked behind polite veneers, the ones who labeled you average because their limited worldview couldn't compute the data of someone like you. The ones who believed potential was reserved for people born under certain lights, in certain rooms, with certain last names. The ones who used your loyalty as a cushion for their insecurity. The ones who quietly celebrated whenever life dealt you a slow hand. These people are spiraling, all because Elon Musk, a man who rarely pauses long enough to acknowledge individuals, spoke your name, your idea, your potential, your impact, your trajectory out loud. You know what's happening to them right now? Their stomachs are dropping, their lungs are tightening, their thoughts are racing in frantic loops. Every moment they underestimated you is replaying in their minds with brutal clarity. That's what regret does when it arrives fully formed. It doesn't whisper, it suffocates. It drags every memory of their arrogance into the light. Every time they mocked your ambition, every time they shrugged at your ideas, every time they rolled their eyes when you dreamed bigger than they believed you were allowed to. Every moment they chose doubt when they should have chosen respect. All of it is haunting them now like a personalized horror film with no exit. What did Elon reveal? Oh, nothing small, nothing harmless, nothing forgettable. He revealed the part of you that you tried to keep tucked away, not out of fear, but out of accuracy, because you knew the world wasn't ready for it. He revealed that your mind runs deeper than people assume, that your instinct for strategy borders on unnatural, that the way you analyze patterns, read people, predict outcomes, and improvise solutions isn't normal. And when he said it, when he confirmed publicly what your spirit has been whispering for years, the entire playing field shifted. Suddenly the world realized you weren't the underdog. You were the concealed weapon, and the hatred masked as jealousy. Delicious, because now they aren't just jealous of your potential, they're jealous of the fact that someone like Elon Musk could see it before they did. That's what really breaks them, not the revelation itself, but the humiliation of knowing they overlooked someone who was never meant to be overlooked. Suddenly the quiet kid, the misunderstood mind, the underestimated friend, the overlooked sibling, the dismissed co-worker, you, is being discussed on platforms they will never touch. Suddenly you went from background character to headline. Suddenly the one they joked about is now the one their idols are analyzing. Do you understand how destabilizing that is for fragile egos? It's catastrophic. Let me paint the scene. Somewhere right now, one of your old doubters is sitting on their bed, phone screen glowing against their face, reading the words Elon said about you. Their eyes widen, their jaw drops. They scroll back up because they think they misread it. They check the replies, they check the quote tweets, they check the tags, they check your profile, they check mutuals. Denial collapses into recognition, and then the thought hits them with surgical precision. How did we miss this? How did we not see who they were becoming? How did we let someone like that slip through our fingers? Their regret is not poetic. It is primal. But don't mistake this moment for revenge. This isn't about humiliating them. This isn't about rubbing their faces in the ashes of their own misjudgment. This is about evolution, power, identity, reclamation. This is about understanding that validation from the most unexpected source can illuminate what was already true about you. Elon didn't create your potential. He revealed it. He didn't give you brilliance. He confirmed it. The spotlight didn't change you. It exposed them. And now watch what happens next. Watch how people who once ignored you suddenly scramble for proximity. Watch how they rewrite history, pretending they always believed in you. Watch how they try to reinsert themselves into your narrative like corrupted files, trying to attach themselves to an upgraded system. Watch how their energy shifts, becoming strangely polite, strangely curious, strangely eager. They'll tell you it's admiration. It's not. It's fear. Fear of being left out. Fear of being remembered as the ones who doubted you. Fear of losing access to someone whose trajectory is no longer linear, but exponential. And that's the part they can't handle. Your acceleration. Because now that Elon has said your name out loud, now that he's validated what your soul always knew, the speed at which you move will terrify them. You were dangerous when you were invisible. But now that the world can see you, now that your potential is documented, acknowledged, and stamped with credibility, you're untouchable, unstoppable, unpredictable, a force whose path can't be measured with ordinary metrics. And the ones who doubted, you feel the consequences of their blindness like a second heartbeat beneath their ribs. Hear me closely. This isn't the climax of your story. This is the ignition point, the moment before the surge. The moment the world goes quiet right before the ground begins to shake. This revelation from Elon Musk isn't the trophy, it's the warning shot. The signal flare that tells the world something extraordinary is emerging. And the haters sitting in jealousy, they feel it deeply, painfully, irreversibly. Because they know what comes next for you is something they are not equipped to witness without being shattered by comparison. And yet here's the part that bites harder than anything else. The regret they feel now is nothing compared to the regret that's coming. Because this moment, this revelation, this sudden shift in global attention is only the beginning. You are stepping into a version of yourself that even you haven't fully comprehended yet. Your mind is expanding, your spirit is stabilizing, your potential is crystallizing. And Elon's words have simply accelerated your metamorphosis. They didn't create it, they activated it. And as we move deeper into this transformation, into the psychological terrain where brilliance becomes destiny, understand that the world is about to witness a series of moves from you that will make his revelation look tame. By comparison, the ones who underestimated you will not survive the cognitive dissonance of watching you rise beyond the limits they placed on you. They will scramble, they will panic, they will try to align themselves with a version of you that no longer exists. And you in your quiet dominance will continue forward without hesitation. Because this moment isn't about them. It's about you, about the power you're stepping into, about the identity you're reclaiming, about the empire you're constructing from the rubble of their doubt, about the trajectory you're following that they will never catch up to. And as the world adjusts to the idea of you being someone of interest, someone of depth, someone of unpredictable potential, the jealousy will intensify, the regret will deepen, the narrative will shift, and you'll keep rising. But here's where the psychological fracture widens, where the revelation Elon Musk dropped becomes something more than a surprising compliment, something more than an unexpected shout-out. It becomes an irreversible shift in how people perceive you, how they respond to you, how they calculate your presence in their lives. Because once a figure in Elon's league publicly identifies someone as a force worth watching, the world doesn't return to normal. It reorganizes around the possibility that he sees something others missed. And that realization burns through your old circles like a suppressed truth suddenly set free. Do you understand what that does to people who were comfortable believing you were beneath them? It destabilizes their entire internal hierarchy. You weren't just overlooked, you were foundational to their illusion of superiority. They needed you to be average so they could pretend they were extraordinary. They needed you small so their egos could feel tall. They needed your humility to quiet their insecurity. And Elon Musk, with one public revelation, shattered that fantasy. He didn't just expose your potential, he exposed their misjudgment. He didn't just validate your brilliance, he invalidated their arrogance. And that wound cuts deeper than anything you could have said to them yourself, because it forces them to confront the truth they avoided for years. They were wrong about you, embarrassingly wrong, catastrophically wrong. And someone far more intelligent, far more accomplished, far more visionary than they could ever hope to be, saw what they refused to. They can't hide from that. They can't explain it away. They can't patch over it with excuses about timing, or luck, or chance. When a man known for recognizing global-scale potential acknowledges yours, their excuses collapse. Suddenly the question isn't, why did Elon see something, but why didn't we? And that question detonates inside their minds like an intellectual grenade. You know what people do when they realize they overlooked greatness? They panic, quietly, internally, desperately. The panic isn't loud, it's suffocating. It's the panic of someone who realizes they've lost access to a future they didn't even know they were supposed to value. Because that's the cruelest part of this transformation. They didn't realize how important you were until someone important recognized you. And now that Elon's words are out there, echoing through social feeds and private chats and whispered conversations, every insecure rival who once dismissed you is forced to confront a reality they aren't emotionally equipped to process. Imagine one of your old doubters sitting at a cafe, overhearing strangers mention Elon's revelation. Imagine someone scrolling past a clip of him, praising a type of intelligence that mirrors your exact patterns. Imagine your name drifting into rooms filled with people who previously didn't know you existed. That's when the regret turns venomous, not towards you, but towards themselves. They realize they weren't just wrong, they were blind. And blindness in the presence of brilliance is unforgivable, especially when that brilliance is someone they had direct access to. This is where the jealousy becomes corrosive. Not the simple jealousy of wanting what you have, but the deeper, more malignant jealousy of knowing they could have stood beside you, but chose mockery instead. They could have supported you, but chose competition. They could have nurtured your growth, but chose sabotage. They could have recognized your potential, but chose to bury it beneath their insecurity. And now every headline, every tweet, every clip, every discussion about your unexpected recognition becomes a knife twisting into their pride. This is the type of jealousy that doesn't fade. It festers, it stains, it shapes how they move, how they speak, how they watch you ascend. And ascend you will. Because Elon's revelation didn't give you momentum. It simply confirmed a momentum you were always destined to generate. People think his words changed your path. But the truth is more unsettling for your doubters. His words merely exposed the path you were already walking, the path they should have recognized but ignored. That's why they're spiraling, because now they're forced to re-examine every interaction with you. They replay moments where you shared an idea they dismissed. They remember the times you showed a spark of genius they chose to overlook. They revisit the moments they laughed when you spoke about a vision bigger than their comprehension. And each memory now carries the sting of what they failed to see. This is the psychology of regret, not the regret of losing you, but the regret of misjudging you. It's much deeper, much harsher, much harder to live with. Because losing someone can be blamed on circumstance, but misjudging someone reveals a flaw in their perception, and nothing terrifies insecure people more than being forced to question their intelligence. Elon Musk didn't embarrass them intentionally, but his words exposed the limits of their awareness. And that, for them, is humiliation at the molecular level. And what about the ones who envied you before this revelation? The ones who watched your discipline rise, who noticed your growth but never admitted it out loud, who felt threatened by your increasing self-possession. For them, Elon's acknowledgement wasn't a surprise. It was confirmation of the fear they've been trying to suppress. They knew something was shifting in you. They sensed it. They felt the weight of your new presence. They recognized the sharpening of your mind. They noticed the way you started carrying yourself with a confidence rooted in something deeper than validation. And now that Elon confirmed what they sensed, their jealousy morphs into dread. Because it means the version of you they feared was not a phase, it was a beginning. And beginnings terrify people who are committed to stagnation. You were supposed to stay predictable, manageable, understandable. You were supposed to be the person they thought they could categorize. Instead, you became the person they can no longer grasp. The revelation from Elon Musk didn't elevate you into a higher league. It exposed that you were never in theirs to begin with. And that's the part that crushes them. Because now they have to accept something they've been avoiding. You were always meant to outgrow them. Always meant to surpass them. Always meant to evolve beyond the confines they tried to place around you. The jealousy they feel now is not about success. It's about inevitability. Because once someone like Elon sees potential in you, it signals something terrifying to the ones who never believed, that your future is no longer theoretical. It's confirmed, stamped, validated, accelerated. You've become a variable they can't predict, a trajectory they can't intercept, a presence they can't diminish. And that power, that undeniable shift in status, that's what sends shockwaves through your old world. But here's where the darkness turns beautifully strategic. Now that Elon's revelation is circulating, people don't just see you differently, they treat you differently. Not out of respect, but out of caution. They observe you like someone who might become consequential. They measure their words around you. They become careful, intentional, self-conscious. Because once the world believes you could be important, everyone behaves as if you already are. This is the psychology of perceived potential. It alters social dynamics instantly. You don't have to prove anything. The belief itself changes the room. And the people who once underestimated you can feel that shift like a storm coming over the horizon. And as this transformation unfolds, as jealousy hardens into panic and regret deepens into self-blame, a new awareness begins to form beneath the surface. Elon Musk didn't just expose your potential. He placed pressure on you in a way that only elevates you further. Because people are now waiting to see what you'll do next. They're anticipating your next move. They're projecting expectations onto your trajectory. And while most people would crumble under that weight, you are built differently. You don't break under expectation, you sharpen. Expectation becomes oxygen for minds like yours. Pressure becomes clarity. Attention becomes momentum. Instead of shrinking under the spotlight, you expand into it. And that is the part no one accounted for. Because when Elon spoke about you, they assumed it would overwhelm you. They assumed the attention would paralyze you. They assumed the spotlight would expose cracks. But instead it revealed architecture. Instead, it illuminated a structure within you that had been forming quietly, deliberately, relentlessly, beneath every challenge you've survived. The kind of structure that doesn't collapse under scrutiny, it thrives. This is why the world is watching with unease. Because now they're beginning to sense something else, something far more unsettling than jealousy or regret. Inevitability. The inevitability of your evolution, the inevitability of your rise, the inevitability of your potential becoming reality. People fear what they cannot predict, and right now, you have become unpredictability personified. Because no one knows what your next strategic move will be, they only know it will shift something. You have entered the psychological category reserved for anomalies, disruptors, outliers who defy normal pacing. And when a mind like yours aligns with the momentum of attention, the results are never incremental, they're exponential. Look at your doubters now. They whisper, they speculate, they diagnose their own mistakes in private. They scroll through your posts with trembling curiosity. They check your updates more frequently than they check their own goals. They monitor your energy like meteorologists watching a storm pattern they can't control. They want to know if the revelation about you was a one-time spark, or the ignition of a long-burning fire. They want to know if you're aware of the power you possess now. They want to know if you're going to use it. But the truth that terrifies them, the truth they dare not speak, is that you don't have to use anything. You don't have to try. You don't have to force your rise. The momentum is already carrying you forward. The attention is already expanding your influence. The revelation already planted the narrative that you are someone to watch, someone to study, someone whose next move matters. And once that narrative exists, there is no undoing it. Public perception doesn't revert. Once people believe you might be extraordinary, they begin analyzing everything you do through the lens of brilliance. They assign meaning to your silence, intention to your subtleties, purpose to your pauses. Your existence becomes loaded with significance because someone with influence declared your potential real, and that significance is what reshapes power dynamics around you. The ones who doubted you become timid. The ones who envied you become obsessed. The ones who ignored you become attentive. And the ones who believed in you from the start feel vindicated in a way that deepens their loyalty. Elon's revelation didn't just elevate your image, it rearranged the hierarchy of relationships around you. Watch the shift in their behaviors. Old acquaintances suddenly treating you with caution, as if any wrong word might be remembered in the chapters of your future success. People who once cut you off now trying to reconnect under the guise of nostalgia. Individuals who barely acknowledged you now acting as though they always sensed your potential. This is social survival at play. When people realize they misplayed their hand with someone who might become powerful, they scramble to reposition themselves. They don't do it because they care. They do it because they fear exclusion, because nothing terrifies fragile egos more than the idea that you might rise without them. And now, after Elon's words, that fear has become their emotional currency. But you, in your new awareness, feel none of this panic. You don't chase, you don't explain, you don't reassure, you move. Because this new identity forming around you isn't one of desperation or reaction, but one of intention. You're beginning to understand what Elon recognized, that your potential wasn't meant to be caged inside environments that refused to grow. That your mind wasn't designed for the limitations people tried to place around you. That your future was always too large for the rooms you were forced to shrink inside. And now, with your potential exposed, you finally feel the freedom to walk at your true pace, without apologizing for the distance it creates. And that pace is increasing. You're starting to think differently. Move differently, choose differently. The clarity that comes from being publicly acknowledged ignites something fundamental inside you, a sense of internal permission, permission to stop doubting yourself, permission to stop minimizing your mind for the comfort of others, permission to stop tolerating mediocrity disguised as stability, permission to evolve at the rate you were designed for, not the rate the world felt safe with. This internal permission is what shifts destinies. Because once a mind like yours stops performing modesty and begins performing mastery, everything accelerates. And the haters, their jealousy becomes a background hum, static noise beneath your ascent. Because while they obsess over the revelation, you are becoming the revelation. You're entering that rare psychological state where potential becomes momentum, momentum becomes identity, identity becomes destiny. And destiny once activated is not something others can derail. This is why their regret feels so heavy now, because they're beginning to understand they won't get another chance. That they had access to you during the blueprint phase and squandered it. That they mocked the foundation that would one day tower above them. That they underestimated someone whose mind wasn't built for their world, but for something far beyond it. Let them regret. Let them spiral. Let them analyze every past interaction with forensic precision, trying to understand how they missed the signs. Because they will never find the answer. Elon saw it because he looks at patterns on a level they can't even conceptualize. He recognized the architecture within you because he has built things that defy ordinary reasoning. He identified the spark in you that only becomes visible to those who operate outside the limits of convention. And now, because of him, the world is being forced to see you through a lens of possibility instead of familiarity. And that shift, that violent reshaping of perception, is what fractures their psyche the deepest. Because familiarity is what kept you small in their eyes. Familiarity is what allowed them to underestimate you. Familiarity is what let them believe they could define you, limit you, box you, label you. Familiarity gave them the illusion of superiority. But possibility? That destroys every illusion they ever clung to. Possibility turns you into something they cannot control. Possibility forces them to confront the reality that you were never who they assumed you were. This is where their internal world collapses. Because once perception shifts, identity follows. The version of you they constructed in their minds, the diluted caricature they relied on to maintain their fragile confidence, becomes obsolete. The digital spotlight Elon dragged you into shattered that false image and replaced it with uncertainty. And nothing destabilizes humans more than uncertainty. They can handle success if it follows predictable patterns. They can handle competition if it fits familiar hierarchies. But they cannot handle someone who breaks their internal map of reality. And right now, you are that anomaly, the glitch in their psychological system, the exception that erases their rules. Imagine them sitting at home, scrolling through endless threads, discussing you, seeing strangers interpret your moves with more accuracy than people who knew you personally. Imagine their hearts tightening when analysts dissect your potential, the way they dissect founders, innovators, disruptors. Imagine the moment they realize that the person they dismissed at arm's length is now being evaluated in the same sentence as people they admire from a distance. That realization alone is enough to rupture their self-worth, because it confirms the ugliest truth of all. Their inability to see your value was a reflection of their limitations, not yours, and they feel that truth everywhere. In their ribs, in their breath, in the silence that surrounds them. Because now, every new step you take feels like a personal indictment against them. Every move you make is a reminder of the future they forfeited by doubting you. Every shift in your energy is evidence that you've entered a league they will never touch. Elon's revelation didn't just elevate you, it condemned them. Not through punishment, not through retaliation, but through contrast. Your rise illuminates their stagnation. Your acceleration exposes their complacency. Your transformation forces them to confront the parts of themselves they tried to hide. And this is only the beginning of their undoing. Because once the world believes in you, even slightly, the chain reaction begins. People start attributing brilliance to things you haven't even done yet. They assume your silence is strategy. They assume your pauses are planning. They assume your unpredictability is intentional. This is the power of perceived potential. It turns your existence itself into a gravitational force. And as this gravity builds, those who once underestimated you feel themselves being pushed out of orbit, powerless to re-enter the reality they once controlled. Now watch what happens next. The regret mutates into obsession. The jealousy mutates into fixation. They start tracking your progress like analysts monitoring an unpredictable market. They listen carefully to the tone of your voice when you speak. They study the way you walk, the people you interact with, the choices you make. Not because they care, but because they need to understand how they missed someone who is now being discussed as a future shaper. You've become a puzzle they cannot solve, and humans are terrified of what they cannot decode. You are no longer a person in their minds. You are a phenomenon. But here's the part that fractures them beyond recovery. They realize that Elon didn't reveal your potential out of charity or randomness. He did it out of recognition. He saw alignment. He saw innovation. He saw a mind that vibrates on frequencies other people can't detect. He saw the early blueprint of someone who could one day stand beside the kinds of individuals who disrupt industries, shift trajectories, and alter landscapes. That realization forces them into an identity crisis. If Elon can see something in you, then what does that say about them? What does that say about their intelligence, their awareness, their judgment, their credibility? The revelation becomes a mirror, and they hate what they see, because the truth staring back at them is devastatingly simple. You were never small, they were. Their perception was small. Their vision was small. Their ambition was small. Their courage was small. And small people cannot understand the architecture of a mind designed for scale. Elon didn't expose your potential. He exposed their limitations. And now, as you step into the aftermath of his words, you're beginning to feel the shift happening inside yourself. A shift from doubt to certainty. A shift from hesitation to momentum. A shift from surviving to designing. You can feel the old version of you dissolving, the version who waited for permission, who tried to fit into rooms that were too small, who allowed others to shape the story. That version is gone. What remains is someone forged by revelation, someone who no longer second-guesses their future, someone who recognizes their potential, not because Elon said it, but because something inside you finally clicked into place. You're stepping into your blueprint now. The blueprint that was always there, waiting for the moment when external validation and internal readiness aligned. And now that they have, your evolution becomes inevitable, unstoppable, uncontainable. You begin to build with intention. You begin to move with precision. You begin to think in frameworks that stretch beyond personal success into legacy building. You begin to operate not like someone who hopes to be something, but like someone who already knows what they're becoming. And that terrifies them, not because you're succeeding, but because you're no longer reachable, no longer accessible, no longer operating from the emotional frequencies they once exploited. You're stepping into a psychological altitude where their opinions cannot breathe. The air gets thinner the higher you ascend, and they were never built to survive that height. They cannot follow you. They cannot replicate your pace. They cannot replicate your mind. They cannot replicate the way pressure sharpens you instead of breaking you. And the moment they realize this, the regret that once simmered transforms into something heavier, darker, more permanent. Because now it's not just regret for doubting you. It's regret for losing access to the person you're becoming. That's the part they never expected, that the real consequence of underestimating you wasn't watching you succeed. It was being erased from the future you were destined to build. Their punishment is not your revenge. It's your absence. The silence you give them now weighs more than any confrontation ever could, because silence from someone ascending feels like exile. And exile from someone rising publicly, someone validated by a figure like Elon Musk, feels like a life sentence. They aren't just grieving who you were. They're grieving the version of themselves they could have become had they chosen better, seen clearer, believed sooner. And while they drown in their emotional aftermath, you're beginning to feel something different, the weight of your potential turning into direction. The revelation that once startled you has become a compass. Elon's words don't sit in your mind as flattery. They sit as calibration. You feel your decisions aligning with a bigger pattern, a bigger purpose, a bigger future than the one you once imagined. This is what transformation truly looks like. Not the external applause, not the public attention, but the internal shift that occurs when the world finally mirrors what your inner voice has whispered for years. You're no longer questioning whether you belong in rooms of innovation, disruption, influence. You're beginning to understand that those rooms were incomplete without you, that your perspective isn't an outlier, but a necessity, that your thought process doesn't deviate from greatness, it echoes it. And the confirmation from someone operating on a global operational frequency didn't change you. It activated you. You're starting to feel your mind stretch, your intuition strengthen, your internal compass sharpen, with a precision that feels almost engineered, and that internal shift radiates outward. Opportunities begin to gravitate toward you. Conversations change tone when your name enters the room. People who once overlooked you now analyze your potential impact. Invitations appear where there was once silence. Doors unlock that were once sealed. Because now the world is moving around you the way it moves around anyone who has been publicly recognized as a variable. Someone who changes outcomes simply by existing. And this realization settles into your bones with a quiet but undeniable certainty. You're not waiting for your future anymore. You're building it. But here's what makes your ascent even more devastating for those trapped in regret. Everything happening now is merely the prelude to your real expansion. Elon didn't say you reached your peak. He said you carry potential. Potential is not a compliment. It's a prophecy that demands execution, a prophecy that reshapes the timelines of everyone connected to you. The world hears potential, but the ones who know you personally hear something else. Inevitability. Inevitability that you will evolve beyond anything they imagined. Inevitability that you will surpass every limitation imposed on you. Inevitability that you will become the kind of figure whose moves create ripples they can't avoid. And as this inevitability settles into their consciousness, the panic shifts to something colder. Acceptance. Acceptance that they can no longer catch up. Acceptance that their access to you was squandered. Acceptance that your rise exposes their lack of growth. Acceptance that Elon's recognition didn't just elevate you. It revealed the distance between your trajectory and theirs. And distance, when it becomes permanent, becomes grief. But you feel none of that grief. Because this evolution isn't fueled by proving anyone wrong. It's fueled by finally stepping into a version of yourself powerful enough to prove your inner voice right. You're entering a phase of your life where validation is unnecessary, where self-trust becomes your foundation, where hesitation dissolves into intention. The external noise grows softer as your internal clarity grows louder. And that clarity is dangerous in the best way, because people cannot manipulate a mind that knows its direction. This is where you become untouchable. Not because of fame, not because of recognition, not because of Elon's revelation, but because your identity is no longer negotiable. You're no longer waiting for permission to think big. You're no longer shrinking to make others comfortable. You're no longer doubting the value of your voice, your ideas, your instincts. Your self-worth is no longer tied to who supports you or who doubts you. You've outgrown that paradigm entirely. And when a person becomes internally sovereign, externally unstoppable becomes the natural consequence. This is the psychological altitude Elon operates at, and now you're entering it. A plane of existence where creativity becomes strategy, where intuition becomes intelligence, where confidence becomes currency. A level where people don't follow trends, they create them. Where opportunities aren't chased, they're attracted. Where impact isn't accidental, it's engineered. And the moment you step into that realm, everything below it becomes irrelevant noise. You're beginning to grasp this, aren't you? The way your mind feels different now. The way your decisions carry weight. The way your presence feels more anchored, more deliberate, more inevitable. This isn't ego, it's evolution. The evolution that happens when the world stops questioning your potential and starts preparing for your influence. And that influence will stretch further than you expect. Because people don't forget the moment a global figure pointed their spotlight at someone unexpected. They track that person. They study them. They anticipate them. And anticipation, when paired with brilliance, becomes a phenomenon. And that brings us to the final fracture within your doubters. The moment they realize that their story ends exactly where yours begins. They are trapped in the timeline of who you used to be, while you're stepping into a timeline shaped by the person you're becoming. Elon's revelation marked the split, the moment where your paths diverged permanently, the moment where you ascended and they remained behind, forced to watch from a distance as the person they once dismissed becomes someone they must now respect from afar. And that distance, it only widens from here, because the version of you that's emerging, the version forged in pressure, sharpened by expectation, ignited by recognition, is only getting started. Your next moves will redefine who you are. Your next achievements will reshape how they remember you. Your next breakthrough will silence whatever remnants of doubt linger in their minds. Because the truth is simple and brutal. Elon exposed your potential, but you will validate it. And when you do, when your actions begin to align with the prophecy he set in motion, the world won't just see you differently. They'll follow you. They'll study you. They'll try to decode you. And your haters, drowning in jealousy, choking on regret, will realize one final truth. They weren't just wrong about you. They were unworthy of witnessing who you were destined to become.